Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. Today is the last day that we're talking about crucial conversations. Again, we took some practical advice as practical principles found in Crucial Conversations, and that's more of a leadership self-help book, and then applied them to the scripture, and obviously that is what's true, but we can take the two and say, how can we set ourselves up for success when it comes to being fruitful and effective in our conversations, right? Because let's face it, we all have conversations with other people. Some are more natural at it, some are more passive and tend to sweep things under the rug. And let's be bold. Let's understand our role in the situation. Let's make sure we get the facts straight. Let's make sure that we don't have this emotional mindset that's crazy. Let's be firm in what God has called us to do. And today we're going to talk about listening with interest is what the author for Crucial Conversation gives that last practical advice to having fruitful and effective conversations with others. And today I'm going to talk about Proverbs, and then I'm going to go into the book of James. And so Proverbs chapter 1 verse 5 says, "Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance." And so a wise person is going to be a person who listens. Again, so many times we like just to run our mouth because we feel like we want to win the argument. We want to feel like we're smarter than the other person. So we'll just keep on talking versus pausing, reflecting, and asking questions. When it comes to communication, there's only a small percentage of it that's actually verbal communication that's coming out of our mouth. Listening, active listening, is a crucial part when it comes to being effective in communicating with other people. Case in point, James 1 verse 19 says, "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and become angry." So let's be quick to listen, slow to speak, and in turn, we would slow to become angry as well. Understand people, understand where they're coming from. Listen with interest. Ask clarifying questions. They may be coming from a wrong angle, and just by you asking clarifying questions would maybe solve the whole issue at all, versus getting defensive or saying that's not true. Let's ask clarifying questions, leading people to discover where they're at and where you are at. I hope you were encouraged all week, and maybe you got this spirit of boldness. Instead of, maybe you had a tendency of sweeping things under the rug, maybe you just took that up and swung it around and said, no, I'm going to clear it all out. I need to communicate with others. And that is so important. The scripture talks about it time and time again. And so let's represent him, and let's set people up for success, leading people to discover ultimately the truth of the gospel. But let's be a good representation of that by caring and considering others before ourselves. Thank you so much for tuning in all week, especially today. And I want to encourage you to join us in person if you're able for a brand new series called Life that I will be starting tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. If you can't make it in person right on Main Street in Shrewsbury, I want to encourage you to join us via live stream. And we'll see you next week for another Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth.